Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm COCOi and I'm a guitar builder. Now sometimes you go to a store, you pick up a guitar, you try it out, and it just doesn't feel right. You go pick up another guitar, you try it out again, play your favorite band licks, and before you get thrown out of the store, it still doesn't feel right. Now do you give up on guitars altogether? Well, no. Some people, they buy the parts, put it all together, and come up with a guitar that feels and looks right for them. Now these are called partscasters. And that's what I do. I take these parts from premium brands we all know and love, put it all together, and come up with a guitar that feels and looks right for me. And if people like that, I build it for them. Now sometimes these come out more expensive than picking up from the store. But at the end of the day, you come up with a guitar that's unique to you. Something that you would love, the feel, the look, and you would probably keep it. Keep it in your bedroom. Play all night. Building your custom guitar can be a joy and a pain. But seriously, it's awesome. This is Brianna, my custom-built Stratocaster. Now let me tell you about Brianna. Now, before you say, why didn't you just go out into a store, pick up a Fender Professional and that's it? Well, you know, I'm from the Philippines and we just don't usually get the kind of guitars that we want to get. But I find these parts from all over the world. And so when I find a part that I like, I think of something that can go with it and I just put it together. And that's how I built Brianna. I found this gorgeous, hefty Fender Professional Body with all the hardware that comes with it in my favorite lake blue metallic finish, and I decided to build this guitar. Now since it just came with a body and the hardware, I decided what kind of pickups should I put in it? What kind of neck? So instead of the regular stuff that you get from the store, what I did was I found this Fender licensed custom full rosewood neck on the internet, and I found a nice set of professionally made loaded pickups, and I put it all together to build Brianna. What I like about Brianna is that it's kind of unique. You see, the pickup system here is not your normal pickup system, not your normal 5-way system. It comes with a Brian May special inspired Burns London mini Brian May pickups. Now these pickups are similar to what Brian May designed when he built his famous guitar Red Special. It has a weird but very flexible pickup system that comes with 6 switches, which is basically just an on and off for your neck, middle, and bridge. And they added these phase switches to give you a wide tonal range that you can only imagine if you build a guitar yourself. Now these come from 920D. They're well known for building these high quality parts. Like I said, it comes with a Burns London vintage mini Trisonic pickups. Now Trisonic are the ones that Brian May used long time ago. What they did was to make these mini Trisonic pickups to modernize to the age, and yet they just wired it up with the same kind of switching that Brian May has on his guitar. Now to put it on a Fender body, now that's kind of unique. You don't usually find these things. Now what I love about Brianna is her neck. I just love dark necks. I mean, you can look at the patina. Especially it matches the beautiful metallic finish of a lake blue. So Fender usually also puts these full rosewood necks on their very professional line, especially their custom builds. Usually you can order these through the custom shop and only at the custom shop. You don't usually find these in regular ultras or elites, and usually you have to special order them. And because they are naturally finished, usually they are just full with patina. Okay, they don't usually have a headstock logo. Sometimes they just laser etch it on the low so that it doesn't destroy the beautiful dark rosewood. And since this is a rosewood neck, it feels hefty, it feels strong. With matching with all the tonal possibilities of this Trisonic system, you'll get all the possible sounds. Now to make Brianna even more unique, I decided to put these knurled. You see these knurled? Yeah, check out those knurls. Okay, these unique knurled tuner knobs. These are hip shot knurled tuner knobs that are also locking. Now I just love these locking tuners because when you put on a string, you can just tie it up, lock it, cut the string, and it's all neat. Okay, because this is a rosewood neck, I didn't want to put any holes that I would regret later on. So Hipshot comes with their special universal mounting system. It basically plates that hold the tuners in place without drilling any holes. I also opted to put staggered tuners so that I don't have to put any string tree, but everything is reversible. Like I said, these tuners are on a universal mount that you don't drill any holes. So if I ever decide to change these knobs, then I can. But look at this gorgeous rosewood neck. It's chunky, it's a vintage feel, it's U-shaped, maybe not for fast lickers, but or otherwise, it just feels really good for me, especially with my little small hands. The frets are really nice Dunlop frets. This is a vintage neck, so it has 21 frets with a truss rod adjustment by the heel. Now, I know it's going to be difficult, but with a chunky and sturdy neck such as a rosewood neck, I don't think it's going to be any problem. Okay, now the beauty about this is that everything can be taken apart. I mean, the Fender Stratocaster or Telecaster is a good system for custom builds because you can just put them together, take them apart, you can get another part, upgrade it later, or switch to from one guitar to the other, and still you can come up with the custom build that you prefer without spending too much. And there's so many choices out there from premium brands that you'll eventually find, new or used. Now, my inspiration for Brianna, I mean, if it's still not obvious, is a Brian May special. Brian, because these 920D pickup system, okay, basically recreates the sound that Brian May has. So if you're the kind of guy who plays typical Queen music, then this is for you. But otherwise, what's nice about this system is that there are multiple, it's like you can come up with like a dozen or so sounds from this thing by switching from the neck to the middle to the bridge, combination of all. And then once you start switching with the phase switches on and off, and you can practically add these twanky, wanky, twanky sounds that you usually get from phase effects without spending too much on the box. Well, I mean on a effect box. Now, custom builds like this, you'd think that they'll cost more than what these Fender custom shop builds can give you. Well, not necessarily, because since these are all, well, Fender licensed but not from Fender, they're still of quality without the Fender pricing and branding. But when it comes to look and feel, in my opinion, based on the other guitars I've tried, well, what can I say? It started off as a Fender Professional, so it feels like a Fender Professional with a custom Fender neck. at a price that's lower, way lower than what you get from a custom shop. And sometimes that's what I love about these custom builds, because I can build them sometimes cheaper than a custom build without affecting too much on the quality. And for somebody who's not a professional like me, I don't have to spend too much on a guitar to appreciate it. Sometimes what I just like is how it feels and how it looks good for me. So that's why this is my special. This is Brianna, my very own, not red special, but my very own blue special. Echoing, you know, the sound of the 70s rock. With Brianna, you can have sleepless nights playing music in your bedroom, in the bar hall, anywhere else. Whatever kind of player you are, when you build a guitar, something as flexible as this one, you often don't have to go and build another one. Sometimes you just end up with one guitar with all the effects and sounds that you like, and that's the one you keep. And with a chunky neck like this, I mean, this can last for decades. Just like 70s rock. It's still around today, and the kids still love it, right? So this is Brianna, again, my custom build Fender Stratocaster, and it's my blue special. Now you see what I did there? I turned off the guitar just with a flick of a switch. Now sometimes you have to do that on stage or anytime that you just want to turn it off before it goes into feedback. Now most guitars, kill switches, they don't have them. But in this guitar build, what I have is a custom loaded pickguard from 920D, which is basically a recreation of the red special pickup system that Brian May has from his guitar. Now Brian May is this famous guitar player who is known for playing with the band Queen. Of course, if you don't know Queen, better look it up. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know them. Now what's special about this special is that they recreated that whole system for the Fender Stratocaster body line, complete with premium parts from CDS spots to these mini toggle switches to the Burns London Mini Brian May special pickup system. Now these pickup systems are basically called the Trisonics, which was the original kind of brand that Brian May put on his red special back in the 70s or the late 60s when he built his guitar. Now custom builds are pretty nice, and a lot of these famous artists, they actually usually have custom built guitars. Most of them, they don't just go and buy a guitar on the store, unless of course they were started out as a struggling musician. But when they don't like anything about a guitar, they change the parts, because this is their profession. So they have to play something that's fit to them, to the nice. So custom builds are usually the way to go if you're more or less a professional, because usually you don't want those stock pickups, those stock parts that come when you pick up a guitar from the store. So this is my custom build. Now I call this Brianna, okay, of course, because it's inspired by Brian May's red special. Brianna. This is my blue special. It comes in this lake metallic blue. Now let me tell you about this pickup system, and let me just demonstrate and show you the kind of tonal possibilities. What I'm running it through is a standard cheap Fender Champion 20. It's usually that amplifier. It's about 20 watts or so or less, and it comes with these approximation of what the regular cabinets used to sound like the tweed cabinets, like the black cabinets, maybe some British cabinets, and some metallic distortion sounds. So don't expect too much. Okay, and I'm just running it through just a regular microphone, so that you can just hear it as pure as possible without all the effects, except for the ones that's coming from the amplifier. Okay, so right now I'm going clean. Now I'm not a professional player, so if I play anything to you, it's going to be as basic as just hearing what it sounds like. Okay. Now that's a clean from the first neck pickup. Like I said, this pickup system has multiple sound effects. So if I flip a switch for the just the middle pickup, right now, it's just like the typical middle pickup. If I flip the switch for the bridge pickup, the more of the treble bridge, I put a combination going back, just like a 5-way switch. I put the middle pickup and the bridge pickup. Or I put the middle pickup with the neck pickup. But what's different with this than most Stratocasters is that I can put all pickups together. Or I can put the bridge and the neck. Now, of course, you can tell the difference. So for most playing styles, maybe it can change from one song to another, and it's as simple as flipping a switch. Now look at it. This has a weird 6 switches. So if you're on stage, you might get confused on what to toggle up. Well, the bottom 3 switches are for phase switching. So phase switching, it only affects if you have 2 pickups playing together. If you're just one pickup, flipping any of the phase switches won't do anything. So let's start. Let's say the difference between the regular clean channel with the neck and the middle. If I put a phase switch, now since the neck in the middle has its own phase switches, I just have to flip either one to make the phase sound. Now it seems like there's slight or no difference at all if I flip the phase switch of the neck compared to the phase switch of the middle pickup. So let us try with just flipping just one. Let's try it with the phase switch of the neck pickup. Now see the difference? That's with phase, and that's clean. Phase, clean. Now let's try it with the pickup, the phase switch from the middle, and the clean. Now like I said, if you put them both up, there's really not much difference between the regular clean sound and switching both. Now let's try flipping the neck pickup with the bridge pickup. Okay, now let's add a little phase to that, whether it's the phase switch of the neck or the bridge, whichever comes closer to you. Now you see the difference? Okay, without the phase, it's a little bit more solid. With the phase, it's a little bit twanky. Clean. Twanky. Yeah, well, check that out. If you put crunch or a little overdrive, it actually can be, the difference can actually be heard more, which I will demonstrate later on. Now let's try, let's say, all of the pickups together, clean. Now let's switch from the neck phase to the middle phase to the bridge phase, and let's play around, maybe switching 2 phases at the same time compared to clean. Okay, I'm just switching through the phases and can give you all the different sounds. Now let me switch it for overdrive so you can hear more difference. Okay, now we're at overdrive. Okay, let's start off with a clean overdrive from the neck. Okay, my levels are pretty normal. Okay, nothing much. All levels are mostly on 5 with a little reverb. Now that's the usual tone that you get from the overdrive with just the neck. Just now neck with middle, just like the 5-point switch. Middle and bridge. Just the bridge with overdrive. Now let's try all with overdrive. Compare that with just the neck. Adding a little middle and bridge gives a little more tone to it. Okay, now why don't we take out the middle and just use these two? Basically like a middle position of a two-way humbucker system with a little more treble, I believe. Okay, now let's experiment. Why don't we put a little funk and use phase switching? And now I'm gonna put it on middle and neck with a little phase. Okay, like I said, I'm not so professional at it. Let's try that again. Now that's with phase. Now let's without the phase. Okay, with a little phase. That phase is from the middle phase switch. Now let's try it with the neck phase switch. Compare that with the middle neck phase switch. Well, maybe to the untrained ear, you might not really hear the difference, but some people might actually say that the twankiness of the combination of these different phase switching adds to the funk of this guitar. Now let's try it with the rear, with the bridge pickup and the middle pickup. Now let's add a little funk to that with phase switching from the middle phase switch. Okay, now let's try. Let's say, why don't we put the bridge and the neck? Clean. With a little phase. Now that phase coming from the neck phase. Let's try the bridge phase switch. Is there a difference? Well, not much. Okay. Now the best part about it is, like I said, is that if you mix and match all the phase switching, you can get different sounds. Like if you put in all the switches on, all the pickups are on, you can just go through all the three different phase switching and come up with different sounds. So with all the combinations, it's basically more than your standard 5-way switch or even the standard 7-way switches. This basically has more than 10 or even a dozen or more sound combinations. Now those things can come to play when you're playing different licks with different effects. You add a little reverb, maybe a little chorus. See the difference? I'm just using the clean switching over there and put a little phase to it. It basically puts that phase effect. It basically widens the sound, makes it a little crunchier. Well, in some effects, maybe some toink. Okay, like I said, I'm not professional. I make mistakes playing. And this total combination just makes me sound a little better than normal. Without stepping on a pedal, you can switch from sound to sound with this special system. Now, I bet that's how Brian May wanted it to begin with. He experimented. He just didn't want the sound of just the regular standard Stratocaster, and that's why he kind of came up with his Red Special. Now this is Brianna. This is my custom build that is inspired by that kind of system, that kind of mentality. Okay, if you even check, my neck is like a rosewood neck. Now, like I said, it's funky, it's patina all over, it's solid. Okay, I love it. Okay, it reminds me of how people like Brian May put together their guitar from parts in their house, from parts from their garage, okay, from banisters to fireplaces. Okay, this kind of build just brings you to the organic nature of a guitar, with, of course, the vintage electronic flair that comes with an electric guitar. So that's one thing special with custom builds. You can make these things and you can turn out the guitar that just sounds unique to you. So that's how you just have to love them. I mean, if you go out, build your own guitar, if you can find these 90Ds, you can pick up any of their I'm not sponsored by 90Ds, but I just love them. Okay, they give you an alternative to the things that you can buy from Fender. So, or you can just experiment and just build your own guitar mixing switches, just like these guys, like Brian May or any other professional that have built this custom guitar and has made music history with them. And maybe you can go out and make your own music history. So there you go. This is Brianna, my blues special.